So if you marry the wrong woman, who's at fault? You for choosing the wrong woman, or the people in your life, friends and family, who did not warn you? You're not listening if this is about me. It wasn't that they didn't warn you. I've said this repeatedly and clearly, and the fact that you're not able to hear this is why I'm repeating it so emphatically. What did I say? Did I say that the only issue I had was that people didn't warn me? What did I say? What was my major issue? I gave a whole little story about this. What's my issue? Is it just that they didn't warn me? Just waiting. Yeah, they were actively encouraging me. Hey, let's go get you that ring. You've got to propose. Oh, it's going to be a great, marriage, make you an honest woman. Blah. They were encouraging me. It's not just that they didn't warn me. They were encouraging me. Knowing for an absolute fact about my childhood. In fact, some of them were there for my childhood. And were still telling me to go ahead with this disaster. Bravo, Steph. This is some truly life-changing material. Thanks, man. I appreciate this. And listen, I don't want to throw former friends under the bus. Had a lot of fun with these people. A lot of them are very skilled at what they do. And I assume that most of this is unconscious. So I don't say this with hatred at all. I don't even say this with hostility. It's just a basic fact that it took me a long time to understand. People who are doing the opposite from you in the realm of morality and virtue are rooting for you to fail, and if you don't fail on your own, they'll be happy to help you. Look at me saying, I'm not that mad, and then yelling. I am a complexity. They love to see us unhappy and will encourage unhappy choices or sabotage happy ones. As long as you don't find the oasis, they believe they can find the oasis. The moment you find the oasis, they die of thirst in the desert. So they will fuck up your compass. They will fuck up your sense of direction. They will fuck up your perceptions. They will encourage you to go in the wrong direction, because if you find that oasis, they're dead in the desert. So as long as you don't find it, they have hope. If you find it, they're done. Now, you can say, oh, yes, well, but you can't change. You can't change forever. You get married, you have a kid or two or three, you're embedded in a business, you've chosen an entire career, you've got a whole social circle, everything enmeshed and embedded. Our lives are like the mosquito in Jurassic Park, and time rolls over us like a golden soft wave of immobility, which is great if you've made the right choices, and it's terrible if you've made the wrong choices. If you've gone beyond the tipping point, you got married to the wrong person, you chose the wrong career, you're embedded in the wrong business, you have the wrong friends. If you've made those choices, you can't just snap your fingers and unmake those choices. That's a privilege of pre-commitment. Before you commit, you have choice. After you commit, you don't. Before I got married, or before I got engaged, I could date. Before I started dating my wife, I could date whoever I wanted. After we date, we get engaged, we get married. I have no choice. I don't want to, but I never will. And it's not an option, and it's not on the list, and it's not on the radar, and it's not anything that I would do or think about. You commit, and free will goes out the window. Your choice is what to commit to. After you commit, massive proportions of your free will vanish if you want to have integrity. Right? Stood before my wife, and I said to her, you're the one forever and ever, amen. I will forsake all others. We will live together. We will grow old together. We will love together. We are committed. The most solemn vow I've ever taken in my life, and one which I will never, ever go back on. Because that's why there is a marriage. So they still want to think there's an oasis out there. But if I've gone the opposite direction, I genuinely find that oasis, they're toast. I mean, fried in the desert sun, literally toast. Choosing who you marry is the most important thing in life. Virtue is the most important thing in life because virtue will lead you to make the right choice. Now, of course, the fact that you go in opposite directions is an incomplete analogy because they are, of course, walking with you. The opposite directions is an analogy because they're walking with you. The guy I was talking to today, he had arguably the love of his life in his early 20s. She was a 9.5. She was smart, witty, great conversationalist. And another guy, after they'd been going out for 3 years, another guy claimed that he'd slept with her. And so the guy I was talking to today, he broke up with his girlfriend. He regrets it now. 6 years later, he still regrets it massively. And I said, well, why? Here you go. Here's your Machiavellian 101. This is Machiavelli 101. Why did this guy say that he'd slept with this caller's girlfriend? Why did he say that? He didn't. Turns out he confessed later he didn't. Why did he say he'd slept with her? Well, to sabotage, sure, but why? Why would he sabotage? What was his goal? Yeah, to break up the relationship, to get with her, to make her single, jealousy, to run him off. Yep, absolutely. Absolutely. He wanted to get her himself. He wanted to get the 9.5 away from my caller so that he could be with her, right? Sure. Now, I would never do anything like that, but there's a lot of people to whom all's fair in love and war. Yeah, he kidnapped you and he beat you up, left you in the desert, and said, I'm going to the oasis. And he gives you one last punch to the face. He goes off to the oasis. Now you go south. He goes north because he's going to get to the oasis. He kidnapped you, dumped you in the desert, beat you up. Now he's going to the desert. You're going south. What is your feeling when you see that oasis? What is your feeling when you see that oasis and you know what's going to happen to Bob? Good. Satisfaction, vindication, relief. I'm happy I live. Justice served. F Bob. Relief it wasn't you that got lost? Well, that would be either way. What if Bob is an enemy? What if Bob is an evil guy who kidnapped you and beat you up, dumped you in the desert, and you get to live? And you know because you went the right direction and he went the wrong direction, he's going to be bleached bones in the desert in a year. If he was like a see you next Tuesday like that, then extra ecstatic. Elation. Yes. Yes, 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 yes. All right. Gonna need some more numbers from you because you told me to go medium pace, right? More numbers from you. Your parents' view of your fascination with philosophy. +10, they love your fascination with philosophy and are eager to join you on the journey. -10, they hate and deny and call you crazy and attack and ignore and right. -10, -10, -10, -10, -5, -3, -10, -8, 5 + 5, that's good. +1, excellent. A very, very good man who does not feel hate or anger. I don't know what that means. +1, -4, 0. 0, it goes right over their heads. No, it doesn't. Nope. No. No, philosophy does not go over anyone's head. Not the philosophy we talk about here. Is there anyone who could not understand the analogy I just gave you? And of course, if they're like, oh, well, people say bad stuff about Steph, say, okay, well, you're only giving bullies power. If you find Steph saying these terrible things, that's one thing. But if other people just say, well, he's this terrible guy, and they don't give you quotes and they don't give you evidence, then don't give power to bullies, right? Don't give power to bullies and liars. It was a good analogy, right? Okay, so it seems like the majority of you, the significant majority of you, your parents are hostile. And Zero, I got to tell you, I call bullshit on Zero. I call bullshit on Zero. If you're into, my mom calls you the guy who always complains. That's great. I love it. I don't think so. If you're defining morality in universal, secular, objective terms, reason and evidence is your guide. How can people can't be indifferent to that? They can't be indifferent to that. They can't be indifferent to that. Can't be indifferent to philosophy. Because especially like my major thing is I'm a moral philosopher. So having radically redefined morality as universally preferable behavior, people can't be indifferent to that. They can't be indifferent to that. So, everyone who's in the minus column and the people who are pretending that there's a zero column at all, people who are in the minus column, your parents and you, and this is not just your parents, this is anyone. Your parents and you are heading in opposite directions. You're going to reason, they're going to anti-rationality. You're going to individualism, they're going to collectivism. You're thinking for yourself, and they're NPCs who are being told what their opinions are. Their opinions are assigned to them by the media. You are philosophical, they are tribal. You think, they regurgitate. You reason, they repeat. You ask what is true, they ask what is popular. You ask what is moral, they ask what is approved. You ask what is a fact, they ask what will get me in the least trouble. So you are heading in opposite directions. If your parents or anyone, it's not specific to parents, if anyone in your life is taking the opposite approach to the pursuit of virtue and happiness, if they win, you lose. If you win, they lose. Is there such a thing as original, creative, and genuine sadism? That's my dad. I'm sorry to hear that. I really am. That's a terribly sad thing to hear. As a father myself in particular, it's a terribly sad thing to hear. Now, you understand that this is not a moral argument. This is not even a philosophical argument. This is Logic 101. This is Logic 101. Two people going the opposite directions can never arrive at the same destination. And don't give me any, I know, you got this, oh, yes, the twinkle dust of confusion. Well, what if they loop all the way around the world? No, forget that. Forget that. Two people going in opposite directions can never arrive at the same destination. Two people going in opposite directions, hoping to find one destination between them. Whoever finds it has just proven that the other one has gone the exact opposite direction. Please understand this. This is absolutely essential. Thinking for yourself versus having your perspectives assigned to you by the media. Genuine virtue versus pretend virtue. Integrity versus the slavish, kneeling, begging for approval from a blind and headless mob. If your companions, whether familial, extended familial, friends, acquaintances, colleagues, whoever is going opposite to you is opposed to you. There's a reason why opposite and opposed have the same root. Whoever is opposite to you is opposed to you. Is under the light of an alien sun available to read anywhere? No, it's probably somewhere at my mom's apartment in a box somewhere. I don't know. Sorry. Most of you, and I say this with deep humility, most of you are unaware that you're in a battle to the death. Most of you are unaware that you are at war. That the people around you who have taken opposite approach to virtue and happiness are invested in your failure, and you are invested in their failure. In the same way that if you and an enemy are going the opposite way in the desert, you don't want him to find the oasis, you want to find the oasis. If he finds the oasis, you're miserable. If you find the oasis, he's miserable. If you succeed, heaven help you. If reason, evidence, integrity, honesty, moral courage, and virtue, if thinking for yourself, reasoning for yourself, being genuinely and meatily good in the world, if that brings you happiness, those who do the opposite are evil, contemptible, immoral. If they're right, and the true virtue is repeating what others say, going along with their mob, not offending anyone, not upsetting anyone, not troubling anyone, if they're right, then you're evil. The destination called virtue, if people are going in opposite directions, whoever finds that thing called virtue or happiness, if people are going in the opposite direction, whoever finds that, the finding of that condemns the other people not just as unhappy, but as immoral, as evil, potentially, or as supporting evil, which is in some ways even worse. Do you follow me in what I'm saying? Do you follow me in what I'm saying? Now, this is just the beginning. Just hit me with a why. We've got this. You're a smart group, brilliant group. I don't need to repeat it, right? Because this is just the beginning. We've got this. We're down, right? Oh, I'm sweating for my tips tonight, baby. Okay, good. This is not the mind-blowing part. This is not the mind-blowing part. Here's the mind-blowing part. The first part. There's two. The first part of the mind-blowing part is that most people cannot judge your virtue. They can only judge your happiness. So, if you find the oasis, you're happy and your enemies are miserable. If the oasis is your happiness and you have people in your life doing the opposite morally of what you're doing, philosophically, and if they are revealed as evil, if you become happy, if they are revealed as corrupt, if you become happy, what is their one central primary motivation if they cannot find happiness themselves? What is their one central primal motivation if happiness in you means corruption and immorality in them? What is their primary motivation? Boom! Burn the oasis, take away your happiness, sabotage. To make you unhappy. Destroy your happiness. to destroy your happiness. Of course. Because if you're happy, they're immoral. Now, do they do this openly? Do they call you up and say, oh, are you happy? Well, I'm just going to scream at you until you're not. How do they do it? Always passive-aggressive, subtly. Yes. Nitpick. Yes, nitpick. That's why I had to push back on the nitpickers. They help. Yes. 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 Sleight of hand. They help or care. Yeah. Like a thief in the night. I was talking to the caller today, and he said, I never noticed them sabotaging me. Yes, that's the whole point of sabotage. You don't notice it. You don't notice it. I told my father about starting a business, and he immediately gave me a bunch of reasons why it would fail, etc. Yep. Yes. So why do people lie about me? You talked about this. My parents heard lies about you. Why do people lie about me? What do they not want people to see? What are they desperate to keep people's eyes away from with regards to me? A happy, virtuous man. Yeah. The forest of words that is set up like flaming spikes surrounding us, this community, the forest of words that is set up to oppose people around us so that people don't see our happiness. Or my happiness. I can't speak for you. I assume that philosophy is doing something to make your life happy. So people lie about me so that other people don't see my happiness. Because I'm like, yo, the oasis, I found it. It's right here. It's right here. I found the oasis. They don't want that to be seen. They don't want that to be seen. They can't have that be seen. Because if reason, this is why the world attacks and tortures the moral man, so that they can inflict unhappiness on the moral man, so that everyone else can feel that they're moral for doing the opposite. Oh, that guy? Yeah. No, he went into the desert that way exactly, and he died out there, and vultures are picking his eyeballs as we speak. Oh, don't go that way, man. That is death itself. That is a horrible, stony, hard, ugly, vile road. So they pound and pound and pound at you, so that nobody else goes in that direction, and they can control your pursuit of happiness. We're all aiming for happiness. Hit me with a Y if you would like personal examples to bring this to life. Would you like some personal examples to bring this to life? Right. Okay. Bring it to life, Frankenstein style. All right. You know, and I won't go into the big, deep story. In my 20s, I almost married the wrong woman. Now. I was surrounded by, I don't know, let's just say probably 10 people who claim to love me and care about me and want the best for me and want me to be happy. Now, all of those 10 people had not taken philosophy, reason, and integrity as their path to happiness. They had not done that. In my view, they had done the opposite. Now, in the relationship that I had in my 20s, my teens and my 20s, not one person said anything negative about those relationships, and those relationships did not work out. In fact, I had somebody who claimed to be one of my greatest fans in the world. Just loved me and cared about me. And he said, you know, oh, you got to marry this girl. I've got a diamond store we can go to. I can get you a good deal. You got to get an engagement ring. And he picked me up and he drove me there, herding me off a cliff. Frankly, herding me off a cliff. I managed to escape those nets through bizarre, coincidental ninja moves. And I honestly, I mean, because nobody told me this, because I hadn't figured it out, I was not living with integrity. I was not living the virtuous life. I was thinking virtuous thoughts. I was not living the virtuous life. Because I had yet to understand the true power of empiricism, which is pics or it didn't happen. Virtue or philosophy is a trap. Live it or don't talk it. Now, when I met the right woman, did the people who claim to care about me and love me and want nothing but the best for me, did they like that I had finally met the right woman after they had never ever warned me about all the wrong women? How hot was the wrong woman, Steph? She's very pretty. Yeah, she's very pretty. And not a terrible person. Not a terrible person. Not a terrible person. What did you find out about her that you realized she was the wrong woman? Well, just very briefly, it basically, when we had conflicts, I had to give way or the conflict would never end. This wasn't so much the case when we were younger, but as we sort of grew up, I just realized, and she was fairly explicit about this towards the end. It's like, no, you're going to have to just give way. Like, okay, well, I can't do that for the rest of my life. I'm just not going to. Did you see her as a mother? No. 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 Right. What are the biggest things you wished your friends would have pointed out regarding marrying the wrong woman? Well, not only did they not point out any negatives or problems or my general level of happiness or not happiness in the dating and the engagement, not only did they not point out any negatives, they were all, yeah, great, go ahead, do it. Right? But would your friends know what she's like when you're arguing? Oh my God, dude. Oh, nitpick. No, it's your friends and family's job to know if you're happy, just as it's your job to know if they're happy. What's the point of having people in your life who have no idea whether you're happy or what's right for you? What's the point? And yet they say, I love you, I want the best for you. It's like, okay, well, I'll take that seriously. If you love me and you want the best for me, then you should have some idea. You should have some idea what is the best for me. Was with a very similar woman in my 20s, had to win everything, had to defeat me in any conflict, took my close friends and family all talking to me firmly about how miserable I was to realize my mistake with her. Yeah, for sure. And I have no excuse. I have no excuse. And years old, you got no kids? Just move there. Move there, marry her, whatever, right? I don't know. Just be together. What are you waiting for? Your second life? You think you're going to get to rewind? And like, you're 50 years old. You're 2/3, probably, maybe even 3/4 of your way through your life. What are you waiting for? Somebody says about the negative people, your idea can't work. Too late. Give up. Don't talk about it. It makes them very unhappy to see a better choice. How many of my friends knew about my love of philosophy? How many of my friends were keen when I first started a philosophy podcast? How many of my friends were keen and excited and happy for me? Sorry to ask that question is to answer it. Endless talking on and on about sports. Yes, people don't care about sports. They care about, don't ever say the words that will undo my delusions about myself. Don't ever switch the light on and let me see the grotesque thing I've become in the mirror. People don't even care that much about politics. They're just like, let's talk about these external problems so that we don't talk about my internal horrors. God honored me in allowing me to witness that moment in my mother. She is desperately unhappy, humiliated, and hates her life. Yeah. You know, the conscience inflicts a punishment I couldn't inflict. Even on the people who've done me great harm, the punishment to me is too great. It's more than I mean, I can't do anything about it, right? I can't undo the conscience. I can't undo the way that morality works in people. I can't change that any more than I can repeal gravity. This is one of the reasons I'm so desperate to get people to be honest and do good, because by God, if you've had someone you love die for 3 years straight with lung cancer, you're going to be pretty fucking passionate about people not smoking, right? I'm old enough now to have seen how all this plays out, and it is brutal. The demons that take others down, play with them in such a long, red-clawed, sharpened teeth, sadistic manner that it is a punishment. I've got my temper, but it's a punishment that I could not inflict. It is too cruel a punishment for me to conceive of. There's a line in a novel about the effects of childhood sexual abuse, and I'm not kidding about that. I did a whole podcast on this years ago. Catcher in the Rye. Catcher in the Rye is about the long-term effects of childhood sexual abuse, and the guy even says that directly. When a teacher tries to come onto him and grab him, he says, "Oh my God, this happened about 1,000,000 times since I was a kid." Very clearly, openly states, novel about sexual abuse. The effects of sexual abuse and its destabilizing effects on the personality. And people would just refuse to see it. They just refuse to see it. They just refuse to see it. The writer literally says this right in the book. But there's a line where he says, "You're the kind of guy who's falling and doesn't even know that he's falling." That's that line is terrifying to me. Like says, "You're the kind of guy who, like, he's in an office in the corner shooting staplers at someone else." And no, that's not quite it. No, you're like a guy who's falling. He doesn't even know that he's falling. The people who are tortured but don't even know that they're unhappy will never end their torture, right? Like if you have a toothache, but you're a drug addict and you can't even feel the toothache, your toothache will never get better, will rot and kill you. They're being tortured by their own conscience, but they don't even know how unhappy they are. The only way you know how unhappy they are is how angry they get at genuinely happy people. People play Ouija board to summon ghosts, but want to summon real ghosts. Try philosophy. No one is more hated than he who speaks the truth. Yes. Yes. People think they have an identity and all they have is conformity. Nobody wants to wake up, look in the mirror, and see nothing there. What's the old line? Most men die at 25, but wait till 75 to get buried. Nobody wants to look in the mirror and see a dead soul, to see a hollow shell, to see a stuffed man, a straw man, a nothing burger, a manufactured emptiness, a useful slave for malevolent forces. You manifest genuine thought, you expose the empty conformity. People don't want to see that. They want to think of themselves as good a lot more than they want to be good. And philosophy says, no cheating, no shortcuts. You want to feel good, be good. Be good. You want to feel happy, don't take a fucking drug. Don't chase the endless orgasm off the cliff of feminist manufacturing, fleshly exploitation. Don't be a cannibal of the vagina. Get your sustenance from where people don't exist, the holes. You manifest original thought, you manifest clarity, you manifest curiosity. People begin to see themselves. And there's plenty of people who will lie and say to the fat girl, "You're beautiful at any size. There's nothing wrong with you. You're perfectly healthy. I'm sure it's all muscle." Lots of people will lie to you and tell you you're a fine person. That way they get to control you because you become addicted to them, propping you up with things you know are false. You become addicted to their lies. Now, people will lie to you and tell you that you're better than you are all the time. That's fundamental sophistry, mental control 101. Just tell people they're better. Tell people they're beautiful. Tell people they're wonderful. Tell people they're morally courageous and stunning and brave and noble and bleh. And that way they don't have to do shit other than believe your lies. And they get addicted to those lies, and those lies replace any genuine virtue they might have, and they're now slaves to falsehood. Slaves to falsehood. Addicted to lies. This modern culture in a nutshell. Addicted to lies. Someone comes along and tells the truth. Oof. I'm not a good person. I'm enslaved by liars. I hate who they teach me to hate. I love who they teach me to love. I have the opinions they tell me are the right opinions. And I put this flag in my bio, and I do this, and I do that, and I approve the current thing, and right? Don't exist. Don't exist. And you can't even be honest about that and say, well, I'm just too chicken to have my own opinion, so I just go along with the current thing. And if they tell me to hate some group, I'll hate that group. If they tell me this group is wonderful, this group is wonderful. I don't know fucking thought of my own. Someone comes along and thinks for themselves and asks questions. They don't hate, nobody hates me. Nobody hates me. That's not a fact. It's not a thing. It's not a real thing. Nobody hates me. First of all, I'm a terrifically nice person. I'm a good dad. I'm a good husband. I'm a good friend. I love the world. I like people as a whole. I always enjoy chatting with new people. I always try to leave people with a smile or a joke or a thought or something. I'm a very, very nice person. There's nothing about me to hate whatsoever. Nothing about me to hate whatsoever. Honestly, I'm a really nice, positive, friendly person. I love the world, and I want nothing but the best for the people I interact with. There's nothing to hate about me. They don't hate me. They don't even hate the truth. They hate their own enslavement. Or to put it another way, the people who profit from lying to people, the people who profit from lying to others, have implanted in them a hatred of the truth teller so they can continue to profit from lying to them. I've been told I'm too serious. I'm just desperate for truth and connection. Yeah, for sure. I hid my girlfriend from my crazy mother for about 2 years, and for a long time from others too. We're happily married for years now, and I've left most of the dysfunctional saboteurs out of my life. My instinct from the very beginning was, don't tell anyone. They'll ruin my happiness. I knew if I let my girlfriend through their filter, they'd sabotage me and I'd get together with the wrong woman. Yeah. God help you if you try to be happy around miserable people. God help you if you try to be good around corrupt people. They will fuck you up.